Pink K-Pop Academy. My name is Orna and today we are going to be learning about balance and weight transfer, because in dance we are constantly shifting our weight from side to side, forward and back, up and down, and there is a lot of times where we need to be able to keep our balance, right? So whether you're a new dancer just taking your first steps, or whether you're a more experienced dancer but like me you struggle a little bit with balance and coordination, this is the video for you, okay? Because I know how hard this can be and how frustrating it can be, but I also know how to improve it quickly and comfortably. So let's give it a go. We're going to start with balancing, okay? So I would like you to put your feet just comfortably underneath you, okay? To start, good. So there are three things that we're working on when it comes to keeping our balance. There is staying calm and steady, okay? There's where we put our focus, and then there's how we control our body, okay? And we're going to do these together so that you can see in real time how it works, okay? So the first thing is calm and steady. Okay, our body is designed to keep us safe and protected, right? So if you suddenly start lifting limbs off the ground, it doesn't know what's happening and it panics, and then we wobble, okay? So when we're practicing something like this where it's going to make you unsteady, you want to make sure your body first feels safe and comfortable, okay? Because then it's more likely to work with you on what you're trying to do, okay? So just feel steady for a second, okay? Let your weight be steady. Put a slight bend in the knees. That'll help you stay steady as well, just a little bit, okay? And if you're a visual person, you can imagine like the big roots of a tree going down from your feet all the way into the ground, and that's holding you nice and steady. So even if you wanted to move, you wouldn't fall over, okay? So calm and steady. And when we start from here, our body has a place to learn comfortably from. Later on, when your body builds up to it, then you can do all the, rushing through difficult, complex momentum dances where you're like spinning in the air and all that fun stuff, okay? But for now, when we're just practicing how to keep our balance, we want to start nice and steady, okay? Good job. So part 2 is about your focus. Where you put your focus will determine how well you keep your balance, okay? When you put your focus into a move, that's where your energy goes. So if you put your focus into the body part lifting off the ground, your body is going to jerk immediately because it's trying to put energy into the lift, energy into the movement, and that's going to make you wobble, okay? So we're going to control that movement, but we're not going to focus on it, okay? We'll get to control in a second. To stick with focus, our focus is going to be on the part that keeps us steady. We want the energy to go to what keeps us steady so that we stay upright, okay? So we have that slight bend in the knees. Yes, keep that slight bend in the knees for me, okay? And you're just going to very gently let the weight shift towards the left side, okay? So you can lift your right foot just a very little bit off the ground, just a very little bit, okay? And tap it back down, okay? So no weight in it, but just that it's still on the ground, okay? Now watch out if your body is starting to tilt, bring it back to the center, okay? We want to keep our body in the center for this whole video, okay? We want to keep our body centered. We don't want her wobbling from side to side. In the center, okay? So keep that slight bend in the knee. I don't want the knee to get hyperextended. We don't want to hurt the knee. Protect the knees, slight bend. Okay. Our body is centered. Our leg has a slight bend in it. And you can probably already feel the muscles working in your leg. My leg is actually even shaking a tiny little bit, okay? So especially if you're a new dancer and that muscle is still building, they're probably burning right now, okay? So we can feel the leg muscles in the left side working. And you might even be able to feel the core in the upper body working as well, trying to keep you nice and steady. And that right foot is there, it's on the ground, but it's loose, yeah? We can lift it if we need to. Okay, so keep the focus on the leg and the upper body. Keep the focus on being stable. We're going to lift up the right leg, but we're not focusing on lifting. Focus is here. This is just a movement that's happening, okay? So lift up the knee, keep your focus, keep your focus, keep your focus, keep your focus, keep your focus. Drop it back down. One more time, here we go, up, 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 up. Good, and drop it back down. Okay, now you might still be wobbling a bit, that's okay. It's okay, your body's not going to learn how to balance all this like in the next 10 seconds. It's going to take practice, okay? But this is how we practice it. We keep our focus on what is steady, and we lift, and we drop. And just lift as much as is comfortable before you start to wobble, and then put it back down. And just get used to the feeling of that focus, use of the feeling of the muscles. Okay, now control is similar. When I talk about control in dance, there's a point where you stop just doing dance moves and where you actually start doing them from the inside, where you can feel the muscles that you're using, you know the muscles that you're using, and you're controlling those muscles to create the moves and the shapes that you want. You're not just doing the moves and hoping that they're right, okay? And we gain this control by practicing our basics. That's what gives us the control over our muscles. It gives us the awareness of our muscles, okay? Now sometimes you just want to go for it, like you just want to dance and have a bit of fun, and that's fine. But if we're talking about like improving our dance ability, it's all about control. So just like I said, focus in on those muscles. We are controlling these muscles by focusing on them. We want these muscles to be the ones that are working. So we are controlling them. We can feel them. And then on this right leg, probably as you're lifting, you can feel along here. There's some tension because this is the muscle and around the knee that we're using to bring the leg up and down. Yeah? So you can feel it. You can actually create that lift. It's not just happening by magic. You are creating it. That's what I mean by control. When we have control, we can decide how big or small a move is. We can decide how much energy we put into it. And that keeps us steady again. Because we are controlling it. We're not just doing it. Because when we just do it, our body reacts. And again, we can get thrown off balance. So, center the legs again for me. We're going to do the other side to give the leg a rest, okay? Center, bend the knees a little bit. Steady, okay? Bring the weight over to the right side this time. Left leg is loose, okay? Upper body is straight, yeah? Good. We'll try to lift the leg up a bit. Focus, control. Here we go. 3, 4. Up as much as you're comfortable with. Keep steady, keep steady. Bring it down. Again, 3, 4. Up as much as you're comfortable with. Keep steady. And bring it down. Awesome. Okay, so in terms of getting the hang of balancing when we're lifting legs and stuff, that's a really good way to practice it. Start steady, get into the right position, hold your focus, control the movement. Yeah? Okay. Now, of course, there are times when we're using our full body for a balance, or we might be like leaning out or kicking to the side, okay? And those are a type of balance that you build practice by doing your bounces and by practicing your chest and hip leans, okay? Because all that's happening there is we're holding our body in balance by balancing out our chest and our hips, okay? As long as they're in the right place, your body's going to have a greater chance of staying in balance, okay? And there are 2 videos already that you can use to practice those, and they're really good skills to have aside from balancing anyway. So I'm going to make a playlist that is balance and coordination, and I'll put that in the description box so you guys have all these videos together for practicing that, okay? So that's, you can worry about that another day, okay? But for now, let's just focus on the balancing, yeah? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go on to something very, very similar, which is weight transfer, okay? And it's also very important for keeping your balance and keeping momentum and keeping movement going when you're dancing, okay? So let's do that. So, put the feet back together for me, or near each other again, okay? Now, just lean towards that right side like we were a minute ago. Left leg is loose, okay? So, get your focus. Same thing, get your focus. Feel the muscles. Feel the muscles. Let them be a little bit shaky. Okay, they're working. That just means they're working. Okay, so this foot, we can lift it if we need to, okay? Because the weight is here, the focus is here. So this is what I call a free leg or a free foot because it's free to move, okay? So if I need to take a step to the left, it's easy. The foot's free, I can do it, yeah? But if I'm here, this foot is free, and I need to take a step to the right, I can't. Because the weight is here. My body's not going to let me move because then I'll fall over, right? So if you're finding that when you're learning dance, whether that's in a class or from videos or tutorials or anything, if you're finding that you're getting stuck between moves where you can't actually move from side to side, or you have to add in an extra step to be able to move, or you're just losing your balance a lot as you're moving, it's to do with this weight distribution and this weight transfer control, okay? And how you transfer weight from side to side, okay? So we're just going to do a little bit of practice on that. So push into one side, okay? Now we're going to swap it over. Again, keep that slight bend in the knee, keep the body upright. We don't want to be wobbling, keep the body upright, okay? Keep that balance, keep that control, okay? Now this in itself is a move. It often shows up in girl dances, and we usually have a bit of chest and hip going with it as well, okay? So if even this is throwing you off balance so far, remember, keep steady, keep the chest steady. Okay, and keep practicing these until you're comfortable with these before we start doing anything else if you're losing your balance here, okay? It's okay if you're losing your balance here. It's new. It's new to your body. It's okay. If you're okay with this, we're going to try something a teeny bit harder. Just a little bit. Okay? Keep the control. Good. Now, I'm just going to move over to the side a bit. So we're going to do some steps from side to side. So we're going to go, right foot's loose. Let's go to the right first. Step and tap. Okay. So naturally, generally, when we take a step to the side, the foot that leads gets the weight. Okay? And the foot that follows gets tapped in. Or we balance the weight together. But normally we just kind of tap it. Let's go back to the left. Step and tap. Okay, you can feel that. The weight goes and we tap. Weight, tap, weight, tap, weight, tap. Okay? A lot of the time in choreography, as we're moving, one foot will be left free, and that's usually the foot that we use for the next move, okay? Because in most cases with choreography, we want it to be smooth and easy to move so that people can just keep moving without needing to think about it too much, right? Most footwork is designed to shift weight from side to side, from foot to foot easily, okay? But there are moves where that doesn't happen, or there are choreographies where that doesn't work, or where the choreographer wanted a particular look, things like that. There's always going to be times where there's a weight change that's not so natural, okay? So I want to just let you guys have a quick practice on what that feels like so that your body recognizes it when it comes up and it's not going to struggle so much, okay? So first we're just going to take that easy step to the side, yeah? Step and tap, okay? So if the next move needs my right foot and it's not free, all I have to do is change it over, okay? But we're going to put the change into the step. So we're going to step right, and then instead of tapping the left foot, we're actually going to step it, okay? So the weight will change. It's all happening within the same move, okay? Step, change, okay? Now change it back to me. Let's go back to the left and let's try that. Step, change, okay? Here we go. Step, change, okay? It's not too bad, right? Swap it back. We go over to the right. 3, 4. Step, change. I tripped over my feet, sorry, step change. There we go. Swap it back, over again, step, change. Okay, now, clearly I'm getting confused doing this from side to side, but what's less confusing is if we do it in a box, okay? So we're gonna practice this in a box. So we're gonna step to the right with no change, okay? We're just gonna step, tap, okay? We're gonna step forward with which foot? Which is the free foot? It's the left foot. We're going to step forward with our left foot, okay? But we want to change. So we're going to step and change because our next move is going to be for the left, okay? So we need the left foot free. So now we're going to step to the left and no change. Step and no change, okay? Now we're going to step to the back with the right foot. The right foot is free, but we're going to change, okay? So step, change, okay? Now the right foot is still free, so now we can move again to the right and no change. And to the front and change. And to the left, no change. And to the back and we change it, okay? And again, no change. Forward, change. Side, no change. Back and change, okay? Now, nice simple box step there. We don't do box steps an awful lot in K-pop. They tend to be more in kind of stadium and stuff. But there are always moves where we have to do a step and change. They will come up from time to time. I can't give you specific moves where it happens because it's not a move in itself. It's part of a transition between moves. But what I really would like you guys to do, what's going to be really helpful for you guys to do, is if you just practice doing that box a couple of times, and if you practice shifting the weight, and if you're practicing your balances, then when these things come up in choreographies, your body's not going to get stuck. Your body's going to remember this practice, and it's going to take all that in. And when those things happen, you're not going to think about it. You're not going to be like, oh, and now I need to change the weight. Your body will know because it'll recognize, I step here, oh, and now I need my right foot, so I step here, I change, and I keep moving, okay? Because really, aside from places where I want you to focus on learning your control, We want to get to a place where your body has that control in itself and you don't have to be thinking about it all the time. So you can just have fun when you're dancing. Yeah, that's what we want. We want to be able to have fun when we're dancing, but we also do want to have that control in there. So we got to train the body. So if you keep practicing these for a little while, okay, just stick on some music and do some squares, you know, okay? It'll really help your body to get the hang of that weight changing and that weight shifting, especially if you are struggling with keeping your balance on your footwork. This is going to help a lot with that. Okay, so you've got some balances, you've got some weight changes, you've got some weight steps. You're all good to go. So practice these over time a couple of times. You're not going to be a master after one video. I'm really sorry. You're going to have to practice this a couple of times, okay? But practice this a couple of times. Practice your bounces, practice your chest and hips and any other basics that you do enjoy, because basics are really, really important and they help a lot, okay? You guys are doing awesome. Thank you for doing this with me today, and I will see you all in the next video. Well done. Bye-bye.